Hello, everybody. My name's Lee. This is the onXRP podcast. And today I've got Brian from Lambo X Apes, a well-known community member within the space. And it's an absolute pleasure to have you on the show today, Brian. Welcome.
Hey, thank you. Thank you for having me.
No worries
Yeah.
at all. So can you start, for those who don't know who you are, and that must be not a lot of people within the XRP space, but could you kind of give them a quick overview of Lambo X Apes and yourself?
I think we're having a little bit of a rug pull there, but okay. So my name is Brian. They call me Lambo Brian in the community. I started a project called Lambo X Apes. People ask me where did I come up with that. I was part of the short squeeze, Wall Street bets, but I was kind of originally part of the group that educated people from the beginning, before the Discord groups and the moderators came in to push the message through, because there was a lot more to that movement than a lot of people know. It was a movement in time, and like a lot of people don't understand, like a lot of great history usually is based off of big movements in time, and it's recorded through art that we usually don't appreciate till a later time, right? And the short squeeze AMC was the birth of the apes, the Bored Ape Yacht Club, right? Coming together, people uniting, and it made the NFT space boom to what you see today. NFTs have been around since CryptoKitty days, and they didn't have popularity like they do today. That movement in time is kind of what pushed that forward. And then Lambo, I chose to do Lamborghinis because of the wealth and everything associated with it. Going to the moon, having a Lambo, great memes. And I'm also of Spanish descent, so I know the history of Lamborghini. The guy who started it, it was actually named after a Spanish bullfighter. Is kind of where it originates its name from. A tractor. Originally Lamborghini was a tractor. So yeah, that's kind of my project, and now we're doing so many other things. But I'll let you ask your questions.
Absolutely. So let's just start at the beginning of Lambo X Apes. Why Lambo X Apes and why XRPL?
Well, I did touch on the whole Lambo and why I chose that, and
I know
apes,
why you
why I
chose
chose
it, but
that.
why the project? Why NFTs? Why that?
My background's in payment processing, so
Wow.
transactional
Okay.
data and recording. So I worked at Total Merchant Services, Global Payments, Heartland, First Data. So payments and crypto have been something that I've been passionate about for many years. I've been mining on my phone. I used to have computers set up in like different remote locations. So I had a remote desktop on my phone, and I would connect into these mining rigs that I had set up in all these places because I wouldn't have to pay electricity in all the places, right? So I would like maintain them from my phone with a remote desktop. And I've just always been fascinated with, microtransactions and moving it on to a public ledger and distributed ledger technology, man. And XRP has been very innovative in this space, and a lot of people don't know the history behind XRP and, blockchain technology in general. But yeah, so I've been in it. I tried to start a project a few years ago, and it was going to be in the power industry. We were going to decentralize power. Got a heck of a team together, man. Newscaster, one of the founders of a big oil company, known oil company. But long story short, the chairman of ERCOT basically said, "Stop. We're gonna put so much litigation on you that you won't ever be able to proceed forward." So we stopped. We didn't go into fundraising. We didn't take any money, but we had everything built out. We had a community. They were all waiting for us to do the fundraising, but we were like, no, this is not the way we want to go, because we were going to get shut down. We weren't going to be able to go forward. And another company doing it, you might know them, called Consensus, Ethereum Foundation. So they bought a company called Grid Plus out of Austin, Texas, and they got their license pulled from them. They got a license to distribute power and everything, but they don't have a license anymore. I wonder why. I don't know. So, yeah, go on.
Wow. So let's talk about the mining but Brian, who was a miner, doing it all from his phone.
Oh, thanks.
Let's go back to that, right? So, what was you mining, and how long ago was that when you was into the mining, doing it all from your phone and having kind of setups in your house and in other locations?
I want to say 4 or 5 years ago.
Yeah.
I was buying salvage computers and grabbing video cards and merging them with like motherboards. So use jumper wires, and
Yeah.
hook up multiple graphics cards, right? And I always thought it was funny because the mining applications like BANTU or something like that. My first and last name is Brian Cantu, which is kind of like the abbreviation for the mining application. I always thought that was ironic. Yeah, so I was doing it, man, but people that were mining before I was mining, probably a few years before, before Bitcoin blew up, they made a lot of money, right? And then a lot of the commercial companies came in and they built really efficient rigs in very cool places. And a big problem is heat distribution with these things. It gets hot, it can be unsafe. So, I was doing multiple rigs. Was it extremely profitable? Not really, and not until the price of crypto went up. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
A lot of people were getting into it, cloud mining services, and then scams. I got scammed by a cloud mining service, and dumbass me, it looked legit, but they had pools set up and everything. It's just like crazy, but yeah, it was fun though. You learn.
I imagine that's a thing, though, right? Because going through the process of setting it all up and integrating the systems and getting it up and functioning is a challenge in itself, right? Because I wouldn't even know where to start. I'm a researcher and I'm an investor, so I'm great at, let's say, reading white papers and thinking, I like this project. They've got these investors. I like the team behind it. I'm going to put my money here. But I'm not an infrastructure guy. So you've got around it a completely different way to me, where I look at it from a business analytical point of view, where you've gone about it from the infrastructure side, right? Yeah.
Yeah.
No, I like that.
Yeah. I've always wanted to do a project. I was looking for the right thing, man. And a lot of people make mistakes, and I was tired of getting scammed on Binance projects, man. I was tired of getting scammed. I was like, these people are taking in money. The system is organized in a way where they don't have to scam people. They can just go through and do the project, and they don't have to cheat people. You know what I mean? But it didn't make sense to me. How people would scam other people. You know what I mean? And I wanted to do something legit and bring something unique to the industry, something different. And I didn't want to make a foul of the SEC either. So no promises. I wanted to do something that catches people's attentions because it was cool, and then they liked it because it was unique and it was different. So we do augmented reality Lamborghinis, right? So we have a mobile application on Apple and the Play Store. So you can download it right now from our website, and you can display a, Lambo in your driveway. You can rotate it, and you can even walk inside of it. You can change the colors of it. So we're going to be adding animation and music and stuff. We have a filter for Facebook, a filter for Instagram that has, different models of Lambos in there, and they have the animation and the music, and you can record it and share it on social media. So we're going to be expanding on that. But the mobile application, ideally, the final development of that is going to be a copy and paste of your address, and then there's your NFT. There's your Lambo, right? And then offering that source file, right, in 2 different formats for you to take it into whatever metaverse that we may actually make a collaboration with, or a metaverse that you just want to take it into. It gives you the digital asset, because for me, that is what a metaverse is. A metaverse is an NFT. To me, is a digital asset you can take in between applications. If that is a Unity application over the phone, which that's what the augmented reality application's made with, is Blender and Unity. Or if it's Unreal Engine, which requires a higher poly, right? So I got high poly and low poly, and I want to be able to offer both of those to the user of the NFT to be able to integrate into all these different metaverses, because I didn't want to build a metaverse and then be like, look, my metaverse is better than yours. Oh, mine's better than yours. And everybody's competing with each other, trying to cut each other's throats and stuff. And I'm like, no. I'm like, my assets, I'm good with everybody, man. I'm just trying to put it in all y'all's metaverses, which brings value to their community and our community, right? Bringing our community members into their platform and allowing their platform members to look at our platform. It's mutually beneficial, right? And I'm not about making promises I can't keep, right? I had the mobile application and everything developed before I started the project. So everything was built before I started. So yeah, that's...
No, I like that. And I like the collaboration route because I've come across this issues with metaverses and assets within those. And then I've always discussed about the interoperability of those assets between cross platforms, right? Because you want to be able to transfer that asset. So have you kind of got a view of basically that you could maybe these could be integrated into play to earn kind of gaming and stuff like that as well? Have you kind of got that vision as well for the Lambos, where you could take your Lambo into a driving game, right, and use your Lambo in a race?
We're already working on that with junkies. So the junkies are putting an arcade machine in their bar, and their bar is going to... I told them, you got to make it out of solid gold, bro. I was like, man, you have to make it out of solid gold because we did something really unique, right? This has never been done before. I did a 3-to-1 token, right? And what that is, you know, a lot of the holders have been holding since the beginning of the project, right? And they built up big bags. I wanted to give them something special. You know, a lot of NFT projects, you know, you put a lot of tokens in, you might get a random, you don't get a random, and then that's it, right? But what I've learned out of doing this whole NFT project is values in the beholder, man. When you give someone something special, it's worth more to them, right? It's really the values in the beholder. So I really thought about it for months, and just thought. How can I give something to these people that's something special to them, right? Something very special. So I came up with a 3-to-1, right? So people are able to convert 3 tokens into 1 token, which is a redemption for a fuse, which allows them to fuse that 1 token with any NFT they want, right? Now I'm going to ruffle some feathers, right? Because when someone owns an NFT piece of art, you own that piece of art, right? And you can do what you want with it, right? If that's tear it up, destroy it, put it on your wall or whatever, right? That's your art. Now, I'm going to be grabbing your art and putting it with my art, not taking any of the original traits out and combining it with the Lambo and throwing it on the marketplace, making it the most rare within that collection that you have it in. Because now your character has the Lambo, which is fused with 3 tokens, which is giving massive rewards. And there's only limited because it's a 3-to-1, right? So you have to get 3 LXA tokens just to achieve getting that 1. Really, really hard to get, right? So they're going for about $1,500 a token right now, you know, 1,500 XRP. And it very unique. And I'm also going to be airdropping a custom mint token. A custom mint will only be going to our whales, so there's not a lot. But it can be combined with the fuse or combined with just a regular Lambo NFT, but it gives them a wrap on their car with a custom license plate. Or, you know, if you're an influencer and you do podcasting, you would have your podcasting and your character, right? Because the value's in the beholder, right? If I give you something special to you that you can't get a lot of, you're going to think twice before letting it go. You might get rid of everything else in your collection, but that one right there, you don't want to let it go because it's special to you, and not any projects ever do that, man. You know, I feel like no one ever does that, and I want to do that. I mean, the Lazy Mentor, I'm using the Lazy Mentor. It's basically combines a bunch of art. It's a, how do I want to say it? It's a, it just makes it easy to make a bunch of art, right? That's what the Lazy Mentor. But it was invented to solve a problem with high gas feeds on Ethereum. So if you type in Lazy Mentor and you look at it, it combines the transactions and passes it over to the person that's actually buying the art. That's what it was invented for. So I want to get away from the Lazy Mentor, the compiler. That's what they call it, compiler, because it compiles the images. And I want to give people something special because I'm not lazy, man. I'm not lazy.
That's it.
You know?
But you can't do this all yourself. You can't do all this all yourself. So Have you got a team of individuals? You can't do all this all yourself, surely.
No, so it's funny how my original artist, it was a cash deal with him. So I paid him under contract, but even today I brought him into the project, put him on the team page. I'm still paying him well. And I mean, he's just like, thank you. He didn't expect all that because it was a cash deal. But I really feel like people don't give credit to their artists. You know what I mean? And they're very talented. And this guy was extremely talented. He's a gallery artist. But, if he did work for other people, it would be $100 for one photo, which is a lot of money for one photo. But I mean, it would take him 2 days to do it. So if you think about 3 photos in a week, that's only $200 or $300 a week, man. And he was surviving off that. But that's what you get paid. That's just the job. So I have him, who I originally started with, my gallery artist, and then I started recruiting talent. Talent in the space. People that would enter these competitions, right? And they would just dominate and win all the time. I was like, man, instead of entering all these competitions, come work for me. They were like, what? I'm like, come work for me. And they're like, oh. And then I just brought them in, and then all of a sudden they became good friends. They're talking to each other. And dude, I didn't tell them to do this. I was like, dude, don't do this. They all got tattoos, man. The whole art team, all 5, 6 of them, they all went out and got tattoos. And I got pretty girls on there too, man. Like, some of the girls are very pretty. And they got tattoos on them too. And I'm like, oh my gosh. I'm like, guys, okay. Well, that's cool. That's cool. But they're like, oh, we're like family. And I'm like, okay, I get it.
So what tattoo did they get, and where did they get the location of the tattoo? It wasn't like an arse tattoo or anything like that, right?
They came out really nice. The tattoos came out nice. They got them on the arm. And it's because a lot of this stuff is life-changing for them, I understand. It's very life-changing. So it's their way to remember and to keep it in their lives. But, on their arm, on their leg, from what I remember.
And what did they get, a Lamborghini?
A logo, our logo.
The
Lambo X Apes logo. Yeah.
Yeah. Did they all kind of plan it together, or did just one do it and then the others follow suit?
I think they kind of planned it behind my back, man, because I just woke up one morning and they're all like, oh, by the way, we're all going. And they all went out that weekend. And then all of a sudden I'm getting all the videos and pictures from all of them. I'm like, oh, man. Okay. Okay. Yeah. But we take care of our art team because for me, they're the fuel. They're the fuel to the fire, man. They deliver that new content. Before I did this, my first business was when I was 19 years old. I started a video store. I had video rental stores and game stores. So I did buy, sell, trade games. I understand that delivering new content is very important. People's attention span is like 15 seconds. If you can't catch their attention and keep it engaged for 15 seconds, you're going to lose it. It's gone. So the art team delivers this new content every day. People who are following us, they're going to see something new every day, something new. And I think that's important. And that's why we take care of them, man, is that they deliver that new content, keep people interested, keep the fire of the fuel, and keep it burning hot. Yeah.
Wow. Yeah, I agree with you. And I think when you reward people how they should be and treat people fairly, that's what makes the world a better place, Brian, after all, right? And you made a comment when you were speaking a moment ago that you had a video store where you traded games and stuff like that. So let's talk about Brian as a businessman. Is that your first business venture and only one, and then obviously this one, or have you been involved with lots of different projects?
This is my first crypto project. I've never done a crypto project besides the one I told you with energy that we didn't go forward. But the name of it was called Lectro, and it's kind of funny because if you follow the name Lectro back, it was first introduced at the World Fair for the New York Stock Exchange to introduce a robot that was going to take over the assembly line. Because my idea with Lectro was building a currency for machines, because I feel like we were going to go into a machine labor debt system instead of a work debt system, right? We're in a very, work labor debt system right now. And I feel like in the future, machines will be doing our jobs, and we're going to need a currency to pay them. And what is a machine? Machine doesn't eat. Machine doesn't take dollars. You can't have dispensers on machines. it would only make sense to pay them in a currency that they use and utilize to do a job, which energy makes sense. And because it can't be hoarded like gold and it can't be manipulated like gold and it can only be stored in certain times, it makes perfect sense for a currency. So that was one project. The video store, when I was 19 years old, I worked there, and the guy that I worked for was the Woodlands. People know the high school. He was a Woodlands football coach, and people had a lot of respect for him. And his parents owned a bunch of movie stores. He opened up movie stores because he said, I started out doing coaching, and he's like, I wasn't happy because his parents had a lot of money. The video store rental was very good to his family. And he's like, I wasn't happy when I was getting played. I didn't become the valedictorian of my school for this shit. So he went out and, did that. And then he sold me his store and became the principal of the high school. So he's like, I'm getting paid $110,000 now. I'm happy. So he's like, I learned a lot from him. He has a lot of respect from people here in the community because he would win nationals like every year, for the football. Every year, people just knew him. Learned a lot from that guy. Had to shut it down, as you know. Video rentals, they died. I try to keep it as live as long as possible, but there's nothing I could have done. I was working, I wasn't paying myself, and at the end of the day, you can only do that for so long, and then I got into merchant services. I was in the oil company. I did like oil chemical engineering and stuff of that nature, centrifugal pumps, water transfer pumps. Did that. I did machine rentals, heavy machinery rentals and sales and stuff. So I'm pretty diversified in knowing a lot of different things. I feel like if I was to be thrown in an environment, I'd be able to pick it up, right? They say if you were able to hit the ground running, I feel I will hit the ground running in most cases. But that's a little bit about me,
Oh, I love that. And I like how you've kind of got like a versatile kind of business kind of experience. And like you said, I've got a similar background. I've been involved in many different industries. And what it does, it keeps you nimble on your feet as an individual.
Yeah.
What would be interesting, because you come across like a very intelligent guy. I'd be interested about your educational journey and what your plan was really from an educator. And have you followed that path where you didn't really know what you was going to do and you've just fallen into things? Or was there a plan that you've changed over time?
That's funny you say that, right? So at a very young age, I had my business, right? So people just kind of looked at me like, what's this guy doing? He's just a kid. He's got 15 employees and he's a kid. And try going to college and your teacher looking at you, not owning a business in her life, and she's teaching the class and she's looking at you, and I'm sitting here on my phone being like, man, I got payroll I got to run. I got this I got to run. And she's just like, like, oh my God, he's running a business and here I'm teaching about it, and I'm like, yeah. But at that time, I was going to college. I did 2 years in business. I was going to go in the medical field, man. Honestly, when I was in high school, I kind of graduated a year early, but I decided to stay there an extra year because I took Health Occupations Students of America, which was a class to prerequisites of medical field, right? So I got to go to the hospital. My senior year back, basically, man, I got out at 1 o'clock. I went to the hospital half the day, followed doctors around, and learned about all the different occupations in the medical field, participated in surgeries and got to learn all kinds of stuff, man. But after that, in my senior year, I didn't really like biology, man. Biology is not, it wasn't one of my strong suits, and I just didn't like it and didn't find it passionate. I love technology, and I wanted to do something I love. I really had a passion for. A lot of people that become doctors, and if you don't have your heart into it, you don't do well. You got to really have your heart into it. And I wanted to do something I enjoyed, do something I love.
Absolutely. And I've had similar conversations with my wife because I'm just doing the transition at the moment because I've got a medium-sized enterprise in the UK that has been running for loads and loads of years, but I've been involved with crypto and projects over the last 4 to 5 years. And
Yeah.
I was saying to my wife, if I can wake up every day not dreading going into work, that's how life should be. That you don't feel like you've been at work, right? And that's because I believe, obviously, time is the most precious commodity that anyone can have, and we undervalue as a species. And and as if I can spend time doing things that I like and meeting new people and just having great conversations, right? What a better way to live your life, right? Because I'd imagine what you do I'd imagine you're meeting so many new people all the time on a daily basis, right?
It blows my mind, and I really enjoy just helping people. So there's a lot of, you okay?
Yeah,
a lot of project owners that, I've actually went to go talk to them, and they're like, Brian, you know how hard it is to find someone that knows what they're talking about, that's willing to help you. They're like, there's nobody that's willing to help you and that knows about this stuff. And I just enjoy teaching people and, giving them knowledge, especially if I know they can do something with it, right? The old saying is, you give a man a fish, he'll be fed for a day. Teach him how to fish, he'll be fed for life, right? So I'm a firm believer in that, right? So if I see somebody that I know that I could teach them something and it'd be beneficial for their whole lives, I don't mind taking the time to do that, man. So as far as being rich, I feel like I am rich, and what I'm doing and the people's lives that I'm changing and what they're learning from me, I feel like I'm rich. I have everything I could want.
Absolutely.
I wake up and I'm happy.
Good. And how did you obtain the skill set to teach others cryptocurrency? Was it self-taught, or did you have a mentor, or was it a group of individuals? We know that you've done the mining, so that was probably a self-taught kind of process. But to actually know the inner workings and actually building projects and actually helping more people from an educational point of view, you need different sources of info, right? So how did you kind of get all the tools to be able to then teach others?
Well, I've been in crypto a very, very long time, man, and I think you have too. So you've seen the evolution, right? You've seen how this started out as Bitcoin on a slow ledger, right? And the Lightning Network, right? And the integration of Ethereum and altcoins, right? And this evolution, it's been happening over years, right? And every year there's something new. DeFi, right? Hit the space. The ICOs were big many years ago. The DeFi hit the space. Now it's NFTs. Seeing the different waves, you have to stay up with the times, man. It's always changing. A lot of people that don't follow it, they can't keep up with it. So I find myself just having to educate them about that, like what's going on, because they might buy crypto here or there and they get lost in their lives, right? And they don't know about the new stuff and DeFi and the scams, right? What to look out for with this, and they come to me because they know I know what I'm talking about. They know they can ask me a question and I usually will always have an answer. I always come back with an answer. If you have a question, I always come back with an answer, and I don't fluff it up. I don't tell you what you want to hear. If you like it, you don't like it, tough. This is what it is. Yeah, I've been writing smart contracts. So I started teaching myself Solidity and how to write smart contracts about 2 years ago, JNode, writing different ones with different features, liquidity features, and I knew I wanted to build a project. I just didn't find the right one, and like I said, I wanted to be careful about it. And I knew that NFTs and selling fine art is definitely going to be okay. If you're selling art, it's pretty explanatory, right? It's art. And then if I have a mobile app that displays that art and helps give people an idea of what a real NFT is. A lot of people just think, oh, it's just a pic art. It's just a pic art. I'm like, no, it can be more than that. It can be more than just a picture on your phone. And that's what the whole mobile application is to let people vision that this is not just a picture on your phone. It can be something displayed in the real world, but also displayed in the real world everywhere, right? In multiple places at the same time and still be your asset. So giving people especially the older people, that ability to see what a digital asset is today, because we didn't have this years ago. Digital assets wasn't a thing. This new thing is something that today's generation has, but it wasn't a thing of the past. So that's why it's so hard for people that didn't have it in the past for them to wrap their brain around it, because it just wasn't a thing in the past.
No, absolutely. Absolutely. I totally get that. So, Brian, now let's talk about Brian, the crypto investor. Just a fun question. What's been your best investment as a crypto investor, and what's been your worst one?
Oh, man. Okay. Let's see. My favorite crypto out of all time, and it will always be, will be Nexo. Nexo is one of my favorite ones. They don't get a lot of publicity, but they are in the background trucking and doing some wonderful things in the crypto industry. They've offered the DeFi, as people know it, that's blown up. That's been around for years. They were doing it a long time ago. They've been around for 5 years. They're like the banking institution behind crypto. So yes, I love them. Right. And I got in along like during their beginning at like 10 cents, 5 cents. And now they're trading for $2 or $3, I think, roughly between $2 or $3. Last year would be MetaHero. I got in on MetaHero with Rob. He built CodeWise. So he sold that for over $100 million. I knew that he was a young guy that had a fire in him, right? He had a marketing experience, so he knew how to market. And I really I thought his idea was dope, dude. His idea was dope, bro. So he teamed up with Sony Entertainment and he built a dome that people can, and it's real expensive. It was real expensive because of the Sony cameras that he used were like the red light cameras, as you know, probably the real expensive ones, right? So you get in the dome and it scans you in, and you can grab your avatar, which turns into an NFT, or and can be put into the world, right? But it's a high def scan, with not like from your phone or this or that. I mean, it picked up all your features and everything, right? He took it to the conference in Dubai, the biggest crypto conference in the world. Put it right smack in the middle, dude. Right smack in the middle of the conference, and does the interview with the CEO of Binance and the co-founder of Oculus for Facebook. Went real high, and of course it went down, but no, I bought it fraction of a penny, and I think it went up to like 50 cents, something like that. It went up, it went high. Yeah. I did good. Did real good.
What about your worst one, Brian? Let's talk about your worst one. You must have been rubbed at some point.
Oh man, how many shit coins do I have, man? I think I should just have a shitcoin bag, bro. And I told my friends that. I'm like, guys, let's just grab all our shit coins and put them in a bag. So if they ever become worth something one day, we'll just split the pot, We just put all our shit tokens in the bag and whatever.
Well, you should do a limited edition like NFT where you can exchange your shit coins for something of value, right? And use it in a metaverse. That'd be pretty cool, right? Because I've got loads of shit coins.
Dude, I mean, if they could turn toilet paper from shit coins, bro, I think it would be good, bro.
I think we would. I think it would be really good.
Yeah.
So talk to me about the maybe. Talk to me about the maybe one. What got away? Where you've held it, you sold it too early, and then it's just completely moonshot. Talk to me about that one.
That happens all the time, man. Especially with Bitcoin and Ethereum, right? It has its run up, and when it has its run up, you just want to hold, man. And at that time, I didn't have a project, right? How I play the game now and how I play the game before is completely different, man. And I can't explain that unless you were to do it, and then you have to be in my shoes, and you'd understand that it's a different game. But I liked using bots, right? I got into using grid bots because what it does is it would play off volatility, right? And it makes its money off volatility. So in 3 weeks, if the price is still the same than where it was before, you're still at a gain. You still have 20% higher than you did before. Why? Because it did sales on the way up and then rebought on the way down. It's the same number as now. Your holdings are the same, but you got more of it. Why? Because the bot. And how that works is you just put like the lowest price that you think it's going to go, which I would put it in Doge because that thing is freaking volatile as shit. Is Doge, you know, is volatile, right? But it's one that you don't know if it's going to skyrocket or not, right? So, but that's the one that I put the bot on. I would set the price at like 10 cents, right, and put it up to like 70 cents. And then it would just trade it within that pair, right? So within that range, it would just buy, and it would sell, and buy, and sell. And what that does is it just creates a APR, annual percent rate, and the more it moves, the more you make. Pretty cool. I thought it was pretty cool.
No, it is.
Huh?
And what do you think about meme coins? You made your comments about Wall Street bets and the power of the community and a movement before. So I'm assuming you like some of these meme coin projects as well.
You know, as far as meme coins, man, you know, my girlfriend's from South Africa. I'm a big fan of Elon Musk. You know, think he's very brilliant in what he's done. Right, he's not the smartest guy in the world, but he can find the right people and put them together, and he can find things right. And it's just I admire that. So, okay, what's the question again? Sorry, it's the meme coins. Okay, so
coins,
as far as Doge, right, and the biggest meme coin of them all, right, that started the whole meme coin, you know, frenzy, right? He was trying to educate people, man, that, you know, a lot of coins are controlled by like one person, right? Even Bitcoin's controlled by like one person. And Doge was very decentralized in the means that the guy who started it sold his whole bag for a car. So he didn't have the bag. It was out to the community, and he wanted to push something forward that would bring a lot of new money and people into the crypto space. Well, there is nothing more uneducated about crypto than a Dogecoin holder, dude. I don't know. There's like 20 people on my phone right now. They don't own a single cryptocurrency, but they own Doge, right? They own Doge because, and they think crypto might be a scam, but they have Doge.
Yeah.
I mean, that's the truth. He accomplished what he wanted. Get a lot of new people in there, but make sure it's not just one person that benefits, that the money gets distributed equally among the community and multiple people, right? And that's what he wanted to do, was educate people about crypto, bring new money in, and give it out and distribute it in a way that's not going to benefit just one person or a group of people. And he accomplished that. And that's where the meme coin comes from. Plus, I can't see the SEC taking some dog to court, you know, putting him in there and having a case. Good luck with that, dude. Good luck. Having a dog dance around in the middle of the court case. Yeah, so that's my thought on meme coins.
No, that's cool. I'd be interested what your take is on a long-term viability of proof of. And I'd be interested to hear your take on it.
You know, I have some Bitcoin Maximus friends, right? And then I have some XRP Maximus friends. And oh my God, you know, my Bitcoin Maximus friend, you know, he's friends with, you know, some of the owners of the exchange, Polynex, and some of the big bankers and stuff. So he's told me about something that's happening with proof of work that's going to be like crazy, right? It's going to speed everything up. And he's like, "Do you want to get in on this? You want to get in on it?" I'm like, well, maybe. I don't know. Maybe. You know, it's always something. There's always some new technology coming out, right? And whoever can come out with it. The reason I'm on XRP, for example, is the Flare network. It's going to be changing, you know, as far as NFTs and taking them across the blockchain. It's going to introduce this new technology, which is just going to do it more efficiently than Ethereum. And it's just period. It's just hands down better. So proof of work is getting better, and it's going to continue getting better. And it's always kind of led the race in crypto, right? Bitcoin has always been the first, and everybody else kind of follows behind it. So I want to see proof of work get better. You know, I think it will. I think this new ASIC miner that'll be coming out soon, hint, will be revolutionary. XRP will be doing their thing, you know, with Flare, which I think Flare is going to be awesome. You know, they're building this X bridge where Ethereum assets can move over to the Flare network and then not have the gas fees. So that's going to be interesting. I don't think XRP Flare has hit mainstream yet. There's a lot of artists that are on Ethereum, a lot of big time names that are trading art and stuff on Ethereum that this new marketplace hasn't opened up to them yet. They don't even know about it. A lot of the people that are building out on Flare, XRP, they're developers, and they know that this network is going to be revolutionary, and that's why they've started working on it now to take advantage of it later, so they could be first to market, you know. Then everybody else will come. Then it's the bandwagon. Everybody's trying to jump on at that point. So, yeah, that's my idea on proof of work. It's still going to be around. I love the aspect of mining, right? You know, if you set up a node for XRP, there's no benefit. It's very expensive. It's like $4,000 for a full history node a month if you're on the low side, and there's no rewards. There's nothing. You get nothing from it, and some of the people in the community are pushing other projects to do it. And my whole take on that is like, I'm not going to use my community's money without their permission. If they vote on that, that's fine. But you know, I have a roadmap and I have a plan, and that's what they want to see, not it going out the door and the token price dropping to shit because I decided to do a full history node to make you happy. I'm not here to make you happy. I'm here to make my community happy. You know, so that's my take on that. I want to see proof of work continue, and I do like the aspect of proof of work and how it distributes mining rewards. But there's other systems like, you know, XRP and the ledger and how fast it is that naturally is not a bad option either, you know. So that's my take.
No, I greatly appreciate the honesty in your answer as well, because I'm kind of in a similar situation to me. I've got the Bitcoin maxes here and I've got the XRP maxes here. So, and I'm kind of like your piggy in the middle. And I like the ideology and everything behind Bitcoin and where, and I just love the ideology behind it, right? And then obviously you've got the XRP proof of stake guys over here, yeah, which is like, it's faster, blah, 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 blah. And I like, no, I get it. And I get both ends of the spectrum and the argument, but I'm not against either or. All I'm about really in the industry is collaboration, because that's how you get stronger and really take real control back. Is working together as one. And that's the problem with the markets as they exist in cryptocurrency at the moment is very tribalistic. And the only real way to kind of bring real adoption to the marketplace is by knocking those tribalistic barriers down and actually starting to work together. I've been to a lot of expos, as you probably have as well, Brian, right? Where I tell you what, the companies are so collaborative, aren't they? All the companies are so collaborative, where the people who are actually just the investors and community members kind of are very tribalistic. What's kind of your view on that?
Yeah. Are you talking about like the difference with the XRP or the Bitcoin, right? I both. I've never met a community like XRP. Never. Bitcoin community, they're out there, but they are very tribalistic, right? And is like the ones that I am friends with, it's a small group and they're all very wealthy off of Bitcoin, and they really don't socialize with a lot of people. It's their little group, and if you get in, you got lucky, right? You know someone, or you're part of a project and developing something. But if you're not invited in, or you don't have anything to do with what's going on, you're out. But XRP's community, for the first time, I see people revealing their faces, man. A lot of people have hid behind a cloak and shadow in a lot of projects, especially Binance projects and Ethereum projects. Like, they don't show their face. You never get to see it. You get to read a white paper, you get to see a website, and that's about as much as you get right there. You never get anything more than that. And XRP with the KYC and a lot of projects being here in the United States, man, you know, a lot of them are here in the US. People are showing their face, revealing it, being accountable for their actions. Even if they do something that screws up and it looks like a rug pull, but in all reality, they just gave out too many tokens and didn't have the liquidity or didn't know how to put it in, and they made a mistake. But owning that mistake and letting people know I messed up, you know, being accountable, you know. First time in XRP, I've seen that people really putting their face and taking ownership and being honest with people. Before, with the Bitcoin and these other projects, like I said, everybody was kind of anonymous, right? That was the way to go, is be anonymous, you know. And then you have this anonymous guy that starts all these different projects behind the scenes, and scamming all these people, and no one knows his name because why? Because he's anonymous, right? No, I
No.
think it's much better today, and people being accountable for their actions, than it was in the past. I think it's gotten a lot better.
Absolutely. Well, we've seen a lot of explosion of over the last, let's say, 12 months is DAOs. What's your take on DAOs?
What's your on the DAOs?
On DAOs, yeah, because there's been an explosion on DAOs over the last 12 months, right? In terms of treasury,
Yeah.
where basically you've got, I don't know if they're educated or not, individuals investing people's money on their behalf as, let's say, DeFi as a service, really? You know what I mean? That's what these projects are doing, right?
Yeah.
So are they qualified enough to be investing people's money? I don't know. So I would be interested to hear what your take was on that.
When I think of a DAO, I think of I think of stocks, right? Because a stock is basically a voting right. So a DAO is basically giving you what's similar to a voting right and what the company is going to do forward, right? And then providing that voting right as transparent as possible, and that's where the DAO comes in to provide that transparency. If you notice on Coinbase, all of them are DAOs, right? Because it's safe too, if you don't want to make a foul, I'm big with not making a foul, the SEC. Sticking with just a voting right it's smart. You know what I mean? To have a voting right within a network is a smart way to do that. We actually have one. I mean, I didn't even have to. I didn't even have that in my roadmap or my plan. I worked with the XRP fact checker, and he built one, that works on XRP. It records on the blockchain, puts everything into memos. So, yeah, actually on my website, we have one go to voting. And, so it allows people that are holders to vote, and then we can make decisions on moving forward based off of what their vote is. So each holder has an opinion and has a voice. So I think DAO is important because, like I was saying before, what about if I was to do a full history node because somebody talked me into it, and now I'm grabbing all this investment capital and just throwing it out the door on something I believe is okay, not really discussing what the people and the holders that have time and money and invested into this, and not taking their opinion into consideration. So, no, I'm not a DAO project, like, voting, but do I have a DAO on my website? Yes. Yeah. And then will I have important decisions that are going to affect the project on there? Of course I will. And, a lot of our holders for LXA, if you go in there, they say it's real hard to let go of LXA. They're like, man, you make it real hard, Brian. You make it real hard. We don't want to let go, because they just love the community. They love what I built, and they like being a part of it. And what I've learned is people spend a lot of money on entertainment, dude, to be entertained. Yeah, and you provide it's more than just a piece of art. Yes, it is a piece of art, but it comes with a great community, and it's entertaining, and we're expanding on it, and it's going to offer rewards. And the Bored Ape Yacht Club, they come together once a year, they bring all their club members out and stuff. So I would like to implement something like that, offering club members a way to do on a vacation, right, to come party in Hawaii with the Bored Apes yacht clubs over there in Hawaii, or something fun, right? It's more than just a piece of art, it's a club. And it comes with those benefits as well.
Absolutely. And I'll tell you what, that is a great place to finish this discussion today. And I must say, I've had fun talking to you, Brian. It really has been.
Thanks, Lee.
Chat. No, thank you. And we've got to have you on again, because I'm sure you will be conjuring up something else in the future where you on your roadmap and your product development. And no, I just love the conversation. I love the idea of a project. And I'm let's say I'll be following you guys from now out. I definitely will be following you guys. No, and
I really do appreciate that, man. I do.
And I have enjoyed the conversation, because this is what it should be. It's just a conversation, right?
Hmm.
And we want people to know you, Brian, as well, right? Because your community might know you, but people from the outside looking in may not, right? So it's important that we have these nice, open, general conversations as if we're just friends, and that's how it felt today. So thank you for your honesty in
I
answering the
appreciate it.
questions that you did. All right. So
I
guys,
appreciate you taking the time to interview me.
no, thank you. Cheers, Brian. Well, guys, we're over and out for this podcast, and I really do thank Brian for coming on. So over and out, guys.
Later, guys.